Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Miami Book Hub. I am Adrian Betancourt. I'm an urban planner by day and author and explorer of all things by night. More importantly, I am married to the amazing Tiffany Betancourt, who is an amazing cook at home and a cookbook connoisseur. So she's the one that gave me an idea for incorporating cookbooks into the Miami Book Hub. And so I'm really happy today to announce our first Cooks Books segment and our first chef and cookbook author, Jan Jorgensen. Jan, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And Jan, you didn't have to come from too far away because you're here in South Miami.
Right around the corner.
Your restaurant, Two Chefs Restaurant, right?
That's right. Two Chefs Restaurant, literally down the street. Took me a lot less time to get here than I thought I would.
And for those who follow Miami's community news, they may also know you because you've been a longtime contributor to the newspaper, right? You've written regular, I guess, recipes and articles for them?
I do. I do contribute, and community newspapers are nice enough to share great recipes and events that I want to write about, especially just to cook. Most of them are from my notes and cooking and from my book, A Cook's Table.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to get out there, and also a cheaper way not to buy a cookbook. That didn't sound right, but...
So let's talk about the book. So actually, let's start with the restaurant. Two Chefs has been around for a long time, right? How many years?
Two Chefs is borderlining coming up on 36.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been there for a while. You know, the cooking school we do. The restaurant is, I think, a year or year and a half, a little less than that, but... We've been around. I dare to say, which I've said before, because I am a little bit of an ego chef, that we are the oldest ego chef style of restaurant because I do and cook what I want. I'm not locked into a concept.
Love it.
It doesn't have a specific name on my front door, except the two. And yes, we used to be two, but I've been alone for the last... close to 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you kept the name.
At that point, it was too late.
Yeah.
I couldn't change anymore. Yeah.
Too late to change Two Chefs.
That's right.
No,
but I always say we are many. I mean,
yes,
I'm not alone in
course,
this endeavor by all means.
Speaking of two, you didn't write this cookbook alone. You had a partner in that. Tell us about him and what his contribution was.
Todd and I met each other years ago. He was writing articles for a publication here in Miami about food and wine. I mean, food. He was a food critic.
And this is Todd Wernstrom.
Todd Wernstrom. I'm sorry. Yes, his name is Todd Wernstrom. And he also, his family has through marriage history in the Nordic, Icelandic area, so we kind of connected on that thing. But he
probably the only two Scandinavians in Miami at the time, right?
Probably, except Fleming's, which was way down south back then. But no, Todd and I just kind of connected because I've always been in this food and wine type of situation, and he wanted to. He's actually an attorney by trade, and he wanted to get into food and wine writing, especially wine. And that's how we kind of hooked up through the wine news, as I mentioned earlier, which unfortunately is no longer with us. And we just kind of connected. I originally started the book with a couple of great people from Miami Herald, because a writer I'm not. I chop better onions than I know the vocabulary. And we just never really got there, couldn't get, support in the market of publishing and whatnot. And Todd and I hooked up. Then we decided to stop. Then it laid still for about 15 years.
Wow.
And then COVID started. And it all kind of like, all of a sudden, what am I doing with my time? And I was actually going through my closet and found an old floppy. At that time, floppy didn't exist.
Yeah.
I had it converted into a disc, which, still exists, but we don't use it anymore. And I contacted Todd and I said, we have to finish this. And he goes, yes, it's on my bucket list. So long story short, the concept remains the same. It's a cookbook and is written by someone who has literally been behind the stove since I was 15 years old in 1980 in Denmark and started an apprenticeship. So I'm borderlining 47 years old behind the stove. So I dare to say I know a little bit about how to put a piece of chicken in a frying pan.
And you got the scars on your hands to prove it, right?
Some, but a lot of them are overgrown. But yes, you're right. I mean, at least I don't have hair because they're burned off. I cook every day still, maybe not as seriously as I used to. Still get some really, really cool jobs, meaning serious wine dinners. I mean, I got groups that are coming in with very, very expensive, well, the money is not important, but really, really cool wines that you just cannot go and get down the street, you know, and we come up with stuff. I like to cook old stuff. I'm very much into history. I think preservation of food is what cultured our way of being.
Yeah.
It's not for fun that the Oriental cuisine has its angle of ginger and wasabi and whatever, and the Latino, for example, go into the escabeches and ceviches because of the citrus and the chilies, and then you go into the Nordic where you go into the curing and the salting and blah, blah. It's all about preservation, and that has created a lot of really, really cool ways of cooking and just how to do things. So the way the book is laid out, I got into all this wine work. And so I've been trying to do this for about 25 years because my days in San Francisco was very wine-oriented because I worked in this really, really famous restaurant and the California cuisine was coming out, and just came from this East meets West type of thing. I was probably the first, one of the first chefs in a restaurant where we did East meets West.
Interesting.
I mean, truffle.
Sounds like gangster rap, you know, East versus West, right? But
well, that's what it is. Culinary. Well, that's what you. I mean, when was the last time you went to a restaurant you don't have tuna tartare? I mean, it can be in a steakhouse.
Right.
It can be
with avocado. You know,
that's it. It's just tuna. But I mean, we never had that 30 years ago. You went to the Italian restaurant, the French restaurant, the steakhouse. You know, whatever. The mom and pop, the diner. It was just a different way of doing things. But back then, we were actually. I want to try to say this correctly. Making, for example, lobster seasoned with truffle in an egg roll. But did I know how to roll an egg roll? No, but Shusin did. I still know her name. She was the most beautiful, beautiful young lady that knew how to roll an egg roll that I had no clue of. But I knew how to deal with a lobster.
There you go.
And that's how, all this stuff. And in fact, I was just making rice from India, basmati rice, before coming here and talking to one of my boys, guys, saying that Abdul was actually the one who taught me how to make basmati rice, because it's supposed to have a texture so you can eat with the right hand.
And it's got a lovely fragrance too. My wife.
Oh, it's so naughty. It's delicious. And we're doing a cooking party tonight, right? And they're doing fried rice, but I happen to like basmati rice, so we did that. And then of course it has to dry out and blah 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 blah. But it's the whole thing is about getting into the food and where it comes from and what was the history behind it. You know, for example, I made coq au vin in my book. Is part of a Pinot Noir recipe. Each chapter is a grape, by the way. There's 10 chapters.
Yeah.
So we have Champagne, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Rosé, Pinot Noir, Cabernet.
Like you start with the wine, and then what are the foods that pair with?
Yes, and not...
pair is not the right word. We just had this debate.
Not paired, complemented by. So if you're actually doing a dinner party at home and you want to... serve a Sauvignon Blanc, for example, because a friend of yours like that or whatever, or you like it, or you have something in your cellar. Say, well, what do I want to serve with that?
Right.
Well, you can look under Sauvignon Blanc, and it gives you anything from the soup to salad to the nuts. You know, it's not laid out in in whatever. Now that doesn't mean that you can't do a Chardonnay recipe with a Sauvignon Blanc, but it's a book that has an outline in that way of thinking.
No, I think it's a very unique approach, because oftentimes the cookbooks will go food first and then what wine do we want to like attach to it?
Yeah, no,
or whatever the word is.
Yeah, well,
Flipped it on its head.
Absolutely, and what we try to do is just kind of, for example, I'm going to go back to the coq au vin. Everybody kind of knows it. I mean, chicken braised in wine. Well, most people are going to use a red wine. The actual old recipe is a Chardonnay. It's a white wine. It's still a Burgundy.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it goes back into the region.
Yeah.
Burgundy represents blah. Bordeaux represents blah. Again, we don't go into you have to drink so and so and so, but this is the style you're looking for when you go to your local wine merchant and say, I'm doing this and I'm looking for a style that says blah, 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 whatever. And then the merchant will then sell you that. But I actually had the pleasure of being in my parents' house one summer, and my father had a chicken pen with 8 males, coq au vin, not chicken and wine, coq au vin, and that has kind of like outlived their thing to do.
Yeah, it's time to go.
And we made them go, and we cooked these things for 6 hours. Wow. And I researched it, and we did it right, and it was. I mean, that's the stories of the book.
Yeah.
Every dish that's in there has some type of a memory of mine or history of the actual dish. I mean, you can go into stroganoff. You can go into oysters. I mean, for example.
And it's got everything, because look at this thing. You can't see it from the front, but this is a big cookbook.
Yeah, 360 pages.
You're going to get your money's worth with this one.
And
how many recipes?
320 something, I think.
Wow. Yeah, so, you won't run out of things to cook.
No, you won't. My dear wife, she took all the pictures. We actually, whenever we, my wife Letitia, she is an avid photographer, and I would cook the dishes that we decided to do, take them out in the backyard, so everything was natural.
Nice.
Everything is natural. I self-published. There is not a big house behind me, so of course there was a challenge in that.
Sure. I'm going through that myself, so I can appreciate the challenge.
Yeah.
And the expense.
And there you go. And but we have 66 pictures in there, and every picture was eaten for dinner. Or early dinner, depending on the lights.
Okay.
And mostly taken outside and whatnot. But I learned that years ago, because I used to, as a young cook, work for Jeremiah Tower when he was publishing. I would help him do his food.
Okay.
And
would you say he's one of your greatest influences?
Not one. He is.
He is the.
Yeah, he is the. I mean, Jeremiah Tower stars. One of the founders with Alice Waters and whatnot of the California cuisine, I dare to say he was it. Wolfgang Puck, most definitely as well, but different zip code, different angle of going there. But you later went into the South American type of Stephen Piles in New Mexico and whatnot, that got into all the chilies and whatnot, and all the acidic styles of foods. But Wolfgang Puck not Wolfgang Puck, Jeremiah Tower and Wolfgang Puck, that era was the beginning through Chez Panisse. And Chez Panisse is still alive today. Alice Waters is, in my mind, the group of people that took the entire industry. That's still there. I mean, I'm doing it, and the people that are still in business are still doing it. And then we've seen, all the molecular cuisines. I mean, we've seen so many different things, which is great. I mean, let's reinvent the wheel by all means.
So much experimentation.
It's still round as far as I'm concerned, but
it's amazing what's happened in the industry. It really took off as a true art. It's always been an art, but now there's a celebrity status attached to it.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. It's got its own television stations,
That's
Food
right.
Network and Cooking TV. You have South Beach Wine and Food Festival. It's really kind of blossomed outside of the kitchen, and outside of the dinner table.
That's right.
To becoming this huge phenomenon. And it started a lot with some of these celebrity chefs, right? Emerald, and obviously, we have
Emerald's a typical example, but everybody, I mean, I don't know if that is my business to really go there, but you can come up with 10 to 15 names that have made a lot of, should I say, careers out of doing everything but behind the stove.
There's that. Is it too much entertainment and not enough cooking?
Yeah. Okay. Am I saying that's bad? No, it's not. Yeah. I mean, but it's a small group of people versus a humongous group of people that is wiping sweat every day.
Right, the cooks. And I love that you named your book, not Chef's Table.
The Cook's Table.
The Cook's Table.
Yeah.
Getting back to the people actually doing the cooking.
Yeah, because I mean that's
unsung heroes in a way, right?
There you go. I mean, good word. I definitely, and that's the same thing with the TV. I mean, I used to love watching the TV, but now it's just kind of now I'm watching 7 different people watching themselves, and that's not really my thing anymore. Yeah. So yeah, things have changed in many ways. I try to look at people that. I mean, the forefront. I mean, being from Denmark, the Northern European cuisine, it was really interesting. For example, with Noma and whatnot, with one of the 50 best restaurants in the world for a few years, El Bulli in Spain. I mean, the food is taking a point where that I never really went there. I didn't get that part. I mean, I know how to cook a good piece of chicken. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to put it into a spray bottle. No, I just don't. And I never thought that
I want you to.
but they do, and it's kind of like moving away from that. It was a fad, but it got a lot of interest. It was extremely expensive for those who ate there.
Yeah.
But the Nordic cuisine, it was interesting. Like somebody said, we can never use a lemon because it's not Nordic. We have to use some type of a sour, right? A vinegar or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, lemon is one of the most incredible things in my
Put it in
vocabulary. Yeah, I mean, I do like a lemon for when it comes to acidic, lemon is not a lime. I mean, they not only do they have 2 different colors, but they do 2 completely different things. Right. Again, the food goes down to the culture of where it comes from.
Right.
Prosciutto is not made anywhere else but where prosciutto comes from, Italy and blah blah blah. We try to make them in every different places, but it all boils down to culture, and I think that's fascinating. I mean, it's only in the last couple of 100 years we had a refrigerator.
This is true.
Like cured salmon, right? I mean, cured salmon comes with vodka and coffee and cilantro and tequila. I mean, I've done them all because I've been cooking for so many years. But in the end of the day, gravet laks means a grave. I mean, you go down 6 feet or whatever. I'm not 6 feet. That doesn't sound right. And a few feet down, and you put the salmon in the ground together with juniper berries and
just as Cubans do with a pig.
Exactly right.
There you go.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah. But why did they go to do that? Because they created the refrigerator. Now we just put it in a sheet tray and put it in a refrigerator and we do it, right? I just try to stay cool with the flavors, to be as traditional as possible. I like traditional stuff. I like to cook things, and like I say to somebody when they say, I didn't come up with everything, but I made a point out of learning it, and that's important.
Yeah.
Do we make mistake in restaurants and the 2 Chefs restaurant like you mentioned earlier? Yes, I'm there 36 years. Oh God, no, we make mistakes all the time.
That's how you learn.
And that's how customers are happy and some are not. I mean, we're in business. I mean, the restaurant scene has right now we're in Miami Spice, for example, right?
Yes.
And we're busy. But when I started 25 years ago, we actually the oldest, I think, my style of restaurant within Miami Spice. And but there's 330 restaurants.
Yeah.
When we started, we were 50.
And 280 of
60.
them will be closed next year. I mean,
Maybe.
It's a turnstile.
And they're not Miami style, Miami Spice material.
And that's a testament, really, to what you've done. Because to be in business that long, you must be doing something right. And
I like to think so.
You must have a loyal customers, and I'm really looking forward to eating there. I have to admit, I haven't been yet, so that's shame on me.
Okay,
I'm gonna be there soon. I promise.
Yes.
And my wife, I'm sure, will be starting to cook some of the things in this lovely book. So
at least it's a good read. It's a good read because it teaches. I mean, there's a lot. For example, Babette's Feast. I don't know if you ever heard about that movie.
No.
Babette's Feast was a Danish winning Oscar foreign film about 20-something years ago. The guy who made the food for that movie is someone I know. So I got the recipes from the actual movie.
Wow.
And it's actually in there the way that it was made 200 years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, during the French Revolution, 150 years ago, 1870 something. So, and it's like the book is all about the craft.
That's great.
That's why it's a cook, not the chef, not the guy with the clipboard.
Not the celebrity.
No.
It's the craft.
No, it's the guy who's standing with that stove and building a sweat every day.
Well, I love that you're celebrating that. I love that you embody it yourself. Again, I always expect chefs to have these huge egos because that's what you see on TV. But you're lovely, and you have been since the moment we talked. So I want to thank you, sir, for being in business all these years, for bringing joy and good food and good wine to the people. And I want to thank you for being the first chef on Cook's Books.
Oh, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Now, where can people go to learn more about you, the restaurant, the book?
Well, twochefsrestaurant.com obviously has its own presence. Should you want to purchase the book, we have Barnes & Noble, we have Amazon. We are also on shelves at Books and Books, which is locally. And I do have some copies at the restaurant. But by all means, 305-663-2100 to make a reservation, or on Resi, they can take a reservation as well.
I'll be making mine soon.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have here on the Miami Book Cup. I want to thank, again, Chef Jorgensen for being my guest. I want to thank Miami's community newspapers for hosting us and producing this program. Thanks, Enzoni and Leslie back there behind the cameras. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share. We have some great guests lined up in the future, including a couple more chefs. So we're going to do this regularly. I think this is great. Yeah, continue to follow us. You can learn more about me. My book, which is coming out on September 22nd, Maya Lin and the Ancient Order of Seshat. You can learn all about that at threetreasurespress.com. And until next time, keep reading, keep writing, and stay curious, Miami.